No matter what you've done, your job is not safe. 4 of the last 6 head coaches in the NBA that have won an NBA title have been fired from their team. 4 of the last 6 championship coaches have been fired from their last team. Joe Mazzulla just won it last year. Steve Kerr from 2 seasons ago. Nick Nurse for the Toronto Raptors won a championship in 2019. He won NBA Coach of the Year in 2020 and was fired in 2023.
Crazy.
3 years. That's all it took. He's out of there. Frank Vogel for the Los Angeles Lakers was won a championship in 2020. On April 21st, 2022, he was fired.
Well, we know what that's about. But go ahead.
2 years later. However, as a coach, he also signed to the Suns. 1 year later, fired. So,
Crazy.
So that's Frank Vogel for you. Mike Budenholzer, Bucks. 2021 championship. He was Coach of the Year in 2015, Coach of the Year in 2019, fired May 2023. 2 seasons after the championship.
Insane.
2 seasons. And of course, we got Mike Malone for the Denver Nuggets. Won a championship in 2023, fired 2025.
I'm an artist.
There is no patience in NBA.
None.
There's no patience.
Man, this is interesting, right? So obviously, Mike Malone of the formerly of the Denver Nuggets got fired the other day, and that kind of got us thinking and talking and thinking regarding these NFL coaches getting fired at odd times, right? So you had, I guess, starting with last year, right? So the Pistons won only 14 games last year, and the Pistons fired Monty Williams, right?
Mm-hmm.
They fired him
after 1 season
with like 60-something million still left on the contract.
65.
Yeah, there you go. Now I will say, in hindsight, that looks like a great move because JB Bickerstaff has these young fellas really balling in Detroit. They're going to be the 6th seed in the East, so shouts to them. But that was the first of the firings. Then we saw the Kings give. We saw the here we go. We saw the Kings give an extension to Mike Brown. 31 games into the season, they fire him. Then we see later in the season, about 2 weeks ago, Memphis fired their coach, Taylor Jenkins.
Yep.
They fire him. Like, what the hell is going on? Remember, because we talked about it on the show, like, why did this dude get fired so late in the year? Like, that's odd, especially with a team that's heading for the playoffs, right? And now we see Mike Malone formerly of the Denver Nuggets, who won a championship just 2 years ago with them. He got fired, and I'm like, okay, this is getting out of hand. So this is something that we definitely decided that we want to go ahead and do some discussion on. I'll get you guys' thoughts. Then I have some sound from Rick Bucher, just about a little over 2 minutes on him discussing the Mike Malone thing, and then we'll kind of we'll get back to it. So yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on this? We started with G last time. Let's start with Transformer.
Unless you're Greg Popovich, Steve Kerr, or Eric Spoelstra.
Facts.
Your job ain't safe.
Facts.
No matter what you've done, your job is not safe. 4 of the last 6 head coaches in the NBA that have won an NBA title have been fired from their team. 4 of the last 6 championship coaches have been fired from their last team. Joe Mazzulla just won it last year. Steve Kerr from 2 seasons ago. Nick Nurse for the Toronto Raptors won a championship in 2019. He won NBA Coach of the Year in 2020 and was fired in 2023.
Crazy.
3 years. That's all it took. He's out of there. Frank Vogel for the Los Angeles Lakers was won a championship in 2020. On April 21st, 2022, he was fired.
Well, we know what that's about. But go ahead.
2 years later. However, as a coach, he also signed to the Suns. 1 year later, fired. So,
crazy.
So that's Frank Vogel for you. Mike Budenholzer, Bucks. 2021 championship. He was coach of the year in 2015, coach of the year in 2019, fired May 2023, 2 seasons after a championship.
Insane.
2 seasons. And of course, we got Mike Malone for the Denver Nuggets, won a championship in 2023, fired 2025. There is no patience in NBA.
None.
There's no patience.
None. I think it's part of the reason these owners have more money than they've ever had before. So they can afford to fire a guy and still have him on the hook for that check while still cutting the check for the new guy. Yeah. I think it has to be part of it.
Monty Williams signed a $73.5 million deal. After 1 season, he was let go. He's owed $65 million to sit at home.
I'll say that.
I'm not going to lie.
Right.
If you pay me $65 million to not coach,
I'm in no rush to get a new job.
Facts. How y'all doing over there? Doing good?
Yeah.
I'm not. Hey, look. I'm not playing. I don't have to do anything. I'm not looking for a job. I don't have to do nothing, bro. I'm stress-free for 4 to 5 years, bro. And mind you, Monty Williams is maybe late 40s, early 50s.
Yeah, I think he's in his 50s. Yeah.
Okay, so he's fairly young compared to previous head coaches. I mean, I know the coaches getting younger and younger these days, but yeah, it's tough, man. And of course, we got Tyler Jenkins. You know, been the Memphis Grizzlies coach from 2019 to 2025, and he was fired. But what's killing me is that Mike Malone and Taylor Jenkins are fired right before the playoffs.
I don't get that. That's it's crazy.
Yeah, it's like, okay, so Memphis Grizzlies were a 3rd seed, roughly 4th by the time Taylor Jenkins get fired. They're now 8th. They're 8th seed. So what are you doing? Right? Mike Malone. Now it was rumblings, and I'm pretty sure Rick Bucher is going to talk about it. Were rumblings about them trying to fire him before the championship run, but they end up winning the title, and you end up sticking it with him. I think it got something to do more with the ownership and Mike Malone. Some controversy there a little bit, but you know, just to up and fire him 2 weeks prior to the start of the playoffs, it's like, you know, what are you doing?
Right.
You know, what are you doing? So that's what I got on it, man. I mean, I'll dive more into it when I hear Rick Bucher what he has to say, but
yeah. Now's the time you need continuity going into the most important stretch of the season, obviously with the playoffs. But man, what are your thoughts on this stuff? I think it's crazy.
First of all, I think Sam Cassell should definitely have be a head coach by now, man. This dude proven winner on every level, man. There's no reason for him not to have a head coaching job. And so people constantly recycling the same trash in and out of their locker rooms, and this is what they're gonna get, man. There's some really good assistant coaches out there that they won't take chances on. And so what you're starting to see now is just people getting fired. That whole Denver firing was crazy, man.
Crazy.
Like that's like you just pissed the whole season away, possibly, man. Or you made it so that you don't need a head coach. Because what if they win a chip without one? Like I don't know who's acting head coach now or whatever, but that just seemed like it was. It seemed like it was like a pissing contest in the locker room. It was like, you know what I mean? Like how dare you talk to my players like that? What have you? But
now I hear also it was I'm hearing rumblings about players didn't like how he was favoring Russell Westbrook.
I heard that as well. But is that also Russell Westbrook is an easy and convenient scapegoat because he's been playing well in Denver for the most part?
That's the same thing Donovan Ham said, right?
Now I don't think it's due to bad play. It's due to treatment of how he treated Russell Westbrook in a good way, because apparently, you know, Mike Malone respect that he was top 75 player of all time. So he was treated like you are top 75 player of all time. So I'm gonna give you that reign of you got a hard work ethic no matter where you go. You play hard from start to finish. Yes, you have some bad turnovers here or there, bad shots, but your hustle is what I want on this team. So apparently from top to bottom, they're like, hey, y'all from Jokic and my other guy, like, yo, this man never won anything. Why is he getting all this love and this attention when we just won a championship 2 years ago?
Snowflake era.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like it sounded like he was coaching, right? That's what it sounded like. He was coaching a player. He was coaching a player that was probably in a slump. He's been in a slump his whole life, but you never know, man. Like you don't know what happened behind these closed doors, man. They only gonna tell us what's leaked, but
right.
Yeah,
I don't know. I have more after Rick.
Yeah, let's hear what he has to say. Obviously, he did a whole show on it, but I wasn't gonna. So I just grabbed about less than 2.5 minutes on it, just so we can kind of get a feel for what he had to say. So let's check that out.
Yep.
The question we're all asking is why the Nuggets fired Malone now, and it's really not the right question. The question is why didn't they do it sooner? Because as I said, trust me, they've been thinking about it for quite some time, going all the way back to his appearance at the championship parade where he was clearly inebriated. And I can just tell you that raised some eyebrows around the league. We've had coaches and players celebrating championships, and they're obviously downing alcoholic beverages in celebration, and nobody finds anything all that wrong with it. But Malone took the microphone and was saying a lot of things that where it was clear he was drunk. There's just no way around it. And what I know of Stan Kroenke is that he's a pretty tight-laced dude. And there was other people around the league that took notice. And some eyebrows certainly were raised. It's one thing for Rob Gronkowski or even J.R. Smith to be plowed at a public event, but it's another for a head coach. And then to demonstrate that at the podium. And then this year, talk of Malone getting the axe bubbled up again in January with the Nuggets at 19-14 and sitting in fifth in the West. But they then went on a 17-5 mid-season tear, and they jumped up into that number 2 spot and had the look of a title contending team, and so everything quieted down again. It didn't change anything in terms of the dynamics within the organization, but winning does cure almost everything. In any case, now the Kroenkes, after watching the Nuggets go 8-11 since the start of March, including a current 4-game losing streak, to slip from the 2nd seed in the West to the 4th, and potentially now sliding all the way into the play-in tournament, depending on how they finish out the season, they decided that if they didn't make a move, they might as well write off this season right now. I know from the outside, nobody is seeing the Nuggets that way, but I can tell you within the organization, which the way they've gone since the start of March and the dynamics between Malone and the players, they're reading the writing on the wall and saying, we're not going anywhere.
Man, okay. So, I didn't even cut the part where he was getting into a bit about, what was going on with the GM, and then Mike Malone also saying he had some really hard comments about guys not playing with pride and guys watching tape and whatnot. And I guess maybe there's something to be said for keeping stuff in house, but Mike Malone clearly is more of an old school guy who's going to tell it how it is. So yeah, this is. I don't know, man. I guess if you're Kroenke, and obviously he doesn't technically own the team, but he's got a lot of involvement. His son owns the team, but I think that's only a function of by NFL rules. I don't think you can own 2 franchises at the same time. So, but yeah, so Josh Kroenke, I think that whole thing just had a lot to do with one. You heard what Rick Bucher said. He did not like his coach being basically sloshed, at the parade. And yeah, I can respect that, as somebody who doesn't drink. I'm always leery when people are just, it is one thing if you have a drink, but I'm always leery when people are out there publicly just drunk. It's not a good look. So especially when representing my organization, right? So you got that, and then now you're putting team business in the street, so to speak. And so I guess I don't know, man. I think maybe
it's an excuse.
Yeah.
That ain't have shit to do with that man being drunk.
You know what I would have done though, in all honesty? I guess it had to get really bad behind the scenes because I would have tried to hold out and see what type of playoff run they could have made. Yeah. Then I would have pulled him into the office look, you better get right or you out of here. Because what if he went on a run and just hypothetically they won another chip? You know how much money that makes you as an owner. And, I just don't. I get what Bucher's saying. What took so long? But I would have, once I'm here, 3 games from the end of the season, I would just let it run through the playoff run. But that's me.
That's bad fucking business for the league, man.
I think it is, G.
Bad business for the league. Man. There's no way. Now you tanking. Now y'all tanking. There's a tank now. Now y'all tanking. That's
The question we're all asking.
My bad. Yeah, go ahead, G. I'm sorry.
No, I'm done.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it does look like a tank job.
Yeah. Yeah. What are we? 75? We're 76 years in the NBA.
What's what?
Right? It's been 76 years since the NBA.
Yeah.
Okay, 76 years. So that means it's been 75 parades.
Yes.
A lot of drinking, a
Yeah.
lot of celebrating during the parade.
Mm-hmm.
Denver, come up with a better damn excuse for you firing
Yeah,
coach.
man, that's crazy.
Come up with a better excuse, because unless you're telling us something that we don't know, it's not because he was drunk. It's something he did either when he was drunk, or again, you just using that as a, oh, we don't want our franchise looking like that. Stop the cap.
The last time they won.
Yeah, exactly.
Never,
right?
Never won a championship.
To bring you a ring. Man, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
You know what? To that point, though, if that was a concern, they shouldn't have given him the mic, right? Whoever was the PR person that was there, owner ain't going.
The owner's standing right there.
Yeah, don't give him the mic, because you already see he's, he's sauced up. So don't give him
First
the
thing out his mouth, fuck the Lakers. I'm like, damn, hold up.
Well,
Y'all didn't beat us in the championship game. Y'all beat Miami. Whoa. We caught a straight bullet at the parade. Bro, y'all didn't play us in the championship.
That's okay.
Man said, fuck the Lakers. Like, hey,
I like to hear that.
Dude. Mike Malone and his hate for the Lakers was crazy, bro. It was like, you would have thought he played for the Celtics during the Bird era. He's upset with Magic. He don't like Kareem. He don't like nobody in purple and gold, because they was on our ass back there. We tolerated it. You know what I mean? So yeah, hey, Horizon vibes, man. Trev, they beat the number 8 seed Miami and had the Lakers on their mind.
Speak, right? You heard when Magic went on Speak maybe 4 or 6 months ago, and he was talking to Paul Pierce, and he was like, "Man, listen, I hate the Celtics. I hate Paul. I hated you when you played for him." Like, he said that to Paul Pierce.
And Pierce was like,
he's like, "I get it.
I got it.
I hated you till you took that green off."
I get it. I get it, man. Like, and I think that's what the ultimate hate for Rondo is.
Yeah.
For Paul Pierce and them, because they like, bro,
how could you?
Do you know how big? Yeah. Like, this ain't no Ray Allen type move. This is worse.
Yes.
You went to our known rival.
Them. Yeah.
Like, you could have went to Denver, Sacramento, San Antonio, but you could have went anywhere else. You could have went to 30 other teams.
And then you want to chip with them? Nah.
And got the nerve to sit in the middle of the floor with Kobe's on? Boy, you full-blown Laker. As a Boston Celtic, he gets to say, as a starter, I won a championship with Boston. Yeah, I won a championship with LA. Hall of Fame. Just off of pure assholism.
Right.
Like both.
You're right, though. You're right.
Because at his retirement ceremony, this is what's going to be cool.
What's up, Woodage?
At his not retirement ceremony, but Hall of Fame induction or whatever.
And he'll probably make it in.
I want to see who shows up, who gets to talk, because he had most of his career as a Celtic, but then he also won with LA. So it's like, is it going to be like Laker players going to get up, say something?
What would he go in as?
Oh, I believe a Celtic. I think it'd be right if he's a Celtic, because you spent most of your career with him. Granted, you won with both, but you're known in your prime as a Celtic.
Yeah, but
so that's gonna be tough, man. But anyway, that notion is done. But but that whole Mike Malone did not get fired because he was drunk. 75 years, we've seen players, coaches, staff members just get plastered because your team just won the ultimate trophy, the ultimate prize in the league, right? We win the ultimate prize. Of course, you can go out there and celebrate. Boom, man, go out there. We've never won. Now, if this happened in LA or something like that, granted, we still won't care that you're drunk, but okay, we won a bunch of titles, right? It's just another one onto the belt. This is our first one.
Yeah.
I'm the coach that get to say, I brought Denver their first title.
First and only
title with a guy who didn't even get drafted in the first round as my star.
I think you find him. There's a lot of things you would do before you would fire a coach going into the playoffs. Find them, suspend, shit like that. Like to fire your head coach that already got you. It don't sound right, bro. Like it don't.
I guess the question then, G, is did they at any point pull him into the office and give him that counseling? You know what I mean? Like, you know.
But rumors has it they wanted to fire him before that run anyway. So this was more, like I said, this is an excuse. You build up a report to be like, okay, cool. We have to find a reason why we want to get rid of this guy. You know what I mean? Okay, all right. He was drunk at the parade, wasn't he? Okay, cool.
He was drunk at
Put
practice.
that on the list. You know what I'm saying? Put that on the list. Oh, we getting player feedback that he favoring Westbrook. Okay, put that on there. All right, we're going through a bad run. Jokic said he don't like the way we playing defense, even though he's the worst defender on the floor. Oh,
I mean, if you're a Lakers
add that on there.
If you're a Lakers fan, this shit, you love this shit right here.
Oh yeah.
You love this right here.
Mike Malone
Christmas in July.
At a parade where he didn't even beat us to win it. He beat us in the playoffs, yes. But you just beat Miami, bro.
Yeah.
And the first word he like, fuck the Lakers. We made it. Like, what? What we do? What do we do? Of course we're happy that you're gone, bro. Because you see how that happened? You say F us 2 years later, you out of a job. The Lakers are still here, baby.
Job. Believe that.
You out of a job. But no, man. In all fairness, man, I just totally disagree with the Mike Malone situation. Man. It's just bad. Quiet as kept. I mean, not quiet as kept, but even though he talks crap about us, and I dislike every time he opens his mouth about us, he's a great coach.
Right.
Got you a Super Bowl, NFL. Got you a Lombardi. Jesus Christ, Larry O'Brien. He got you a Larry O'Brien. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like, that's just bad.
I agree. I just, so one of the other things Bucher said, during this podcast episode was that he felt like Mike Malone, knew what was coming, but he felt like he had enough time to try and, throw the proverbial Hail Mary and make a run in the playoffs. And they got to him before he could do that. So, yeah.
No, it's bad, man. I mean, it's nothing else more to it.
Tyler, oh man, I hope not. Jesus Christ. Oh man.
The only one that'll be accepted is the South Carolina. What's her name?
Staley.
Dawn Staley.
Nah, man, I don't know.
That'll be the only one.
It's different, man. It's different.
Because she's a true asshole as a coach.
Yeah, she is, but no. We're not doing that. All right.
Please don't delete that comment before Steve see it.
You know how Steve get down. Becky Hammond, she is. Who's she coaching? She's not coaching the Aces. Is she coaching the Aces?
Who?
Becky Hammond. She's coaching in the WNBA now. Thought she was coaching the Aces. Not sure. Anyway,
I don't know. I can't remember.
There you go.
Was she Plum's coach? Okay, she was Plum's coach. Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we can go ahead and open up these phone lines now. I want to hear what y'all guys say about this stuff, man. About these firings. Mike Malone, Taylor Jenkins, Mike Brown earlier this year. All the coaches that have been fired quickly after winning championships. You know the number. Call in. Let's hear what you guys say. We'll take a couple of calls on this, and then we'll move right along.
There's no patience, man. You got 2 years to get us back to the title after you win one. That's how it's looking, right? Because all these coaches are being fired within the first 3 years of them just winning a title.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So if I got you there as a coach, right? You don't trust me enough to get stuff together and get you guys back to it? No. Especially if we're consistently in the playoffs. Now, if we went from Super Bowl to, we went to championship to bottom feeders like the reverse Detroit Pistons.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now.
Yeah. Laker Nation, what's good, man? How you doing?
Good morning, guys.
Good morning, sir.
Laker Nation.
What's good?
What's good?
I just called in to say I 100% agree with the Mike Malone firing for as a Laker. He got what the hell he deserved, and we got the last laugh, and we the third seed, and he's unemployed. so fuck Mike Malone.
Okay.
Hey man,
that sounds like a.
He did it to us. He kicked us while we was down. We get to kick him back. Kick him.
Be bigger than that, man.
All right, I will take my Laker fan hat off and then put the objective. Hey, this is crazy work, man. It's like I have never seen a league that fire coaches for doing their job, man. This is getting ridiculous.
It's a players' league, man.
The last Transformer went through the last firing. These are all coaches that were successful.
Mm-hmm.
And they out of a job like a year or two later. This is like crazy work. At least the NFL gives you a chance to try to
do something.
The NFL segment about coaches that need to go and they still around. At least the NFL lets you try to redeem yourself when you have a down year. NFL, NBA like fuck it. No patience.
They'll literally wait until the ship implodes before they fire their coach.
Yeah, they give you a little more room.
Yeah, they wait until it implodes.
Yeah, NBA is like a dynamite with a short fuse. You like that shit, it's gonna explode in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They don't give it. They don't care. But so unless you establish yourself, like no job, nobody's job, no player's job, nobody's job in the NBA is safe.
No.
Whether it's a ref, whether you a ref, whether you a cameraman, whether you a head coach, whether you a star player. That might be a subject for another day, like what the message the NBA is trying to send to everybody.
We own it. We're the billionaires. We got the money. We dictate what we want to do. Corporate America, man. That's corporate America at its finest right there. We pay y'all.
Facts.
We run this.
I haven't seen a year. This is you guys can tell me if I'm wrong because I'm just going off memory right now. But I haven't seen a year that as crazy as much movement and firings as this year has been.
No, I don't think I
like with the Luka trade and now Mike Malone being fired and then the dude from Memphis getting fired and it's crazy. This year's been crazy.
I've never seen it at the end of the season with playoff teams. Like you see it with bottom feeders. You know what I mean? Like teams that didn't make the playoffs. They got great pieces, but they still can't figure out how to get it done. But never like playoff contenders. Like we had Denver as a contender this year. Memphis, they're trying to, get their spark back from Ja Morant, being gone for the last couple of seasons, whether it's due to suspension, whether it's due to injury. But, these guys are a contender. They're in the playoffs. We have them as a playoff team, and you fired both of them, right? Never seen that happen before. I think that's the first time for me.
Yeah, that is crazy. But on a side note, and then I'll get off the line. I don't know if you guys have ever played NBA 2K. But Taylor Jenkins is like a auto-generated NBA 2K coach. I guess I went over y'all head because y'all don't play 2K.
I'm the only one that played 2K. I didn't play last year, but I played previous years prior.
Well, you know what? Well, then you get the joke because he do look like one of those auto-generated NBA 2K coaches. I didn't think he was a real person, so I saw him on TV. And I was like, what? But salute. I'm waiting for the next topic, and of course the last one. I'm enjoying the show, and
appreciate it.
Get off so we can keep the show moving.
All right, man.
Absolutely, brother.
All right, brother. Thanks for the call, man. Have a great one.
Speaking of head coaches, Chauncey Billups just signed an extension with the Trailblazers and a multi-year deal amid a 35-46 season. Details on the contract, I do not see them yet, but he has an extension with the Trailblazers.
Hey, well, congrats to him because they're struggling. Sneed, what's going on, my brother? How are you?
What's up, guys? How we doing today?
Doing well, sir. Yourself?
Sneed.
Thanks for taking the call. What's up, Transformer? How are you, man?
Crack-a-lackin', man. I'm good, brother. How about you?
All right, man. G, what up?
Steve, what's going on, brother?
Chilling, man. Sundays, you know. So the call that just came in, who is that? Laker Nation?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So he was talking about like the coaching situation.
Yep.
So that's actually on the Denver Nuggets. The problem with the firing is really just the timing. It's not the firing itself. If you don't believe you can move forward with a coach and a GM, or a coach or a GM, whatever the change has to be done, that's just on the ownership group for making the decision 4 games before the playoffs start.
Yeah.
That decision was supposed to have been made in the beginning of the year. It probably should have been made at the end of last year, once they got bounced out of the playoffs or whatever, whenever the season ended.
Right.
So if you're looking at dysfunction, you can blame the GM if you want to. You can blame the coach if you want to. But accountability always falls on leadership because they're the ones making final decisions. So if anything, the only real problem is Josh and Zach. Is it Kroenke? Is that how they pronounce it?
Yes, Kroenke.
The ownership group? Yeah. It's on them. Now the problem is you have, now Michael Malone's going to have a hard time finding a job because they're going to say this guy is a problem. He can't get along with folks.
Yeah.
He's going to get the Mark Jackson treatment. And then secondly, you're trying to keep Joker because you know damn well you're not going to get another player like that for 30 years. So you can't let him go and think, okay, well, this is how this organization is. So you have to let him feel empowered, right? So he cleared it, whatever. People speculate that he was part of the reason why Michael Malone got fired. It's pretty clear that things were bad between those two guys, the GM and the coach. But the timing itself, that's on the ownership group. Bruce just mentioned that it's a players' league. That's on the ownership group too. If you want to be a player-friendly team, or if you want to be an organizational success-based team, like the Miami Heat or something of that nature, right? Or like the Spurs, for example. You can play it whatever way you want, but there's no guarantee for success, and people drop the ball, and people make decisions. It doesn't really matter. You can have great philosophies, and then execution doesn't pan out. There's coaches like Michael Malone. He was talking about defense. He wants guys to defend and all that. He's doing that. And then they're talking about how the defense sucked. But he's been saying that. And I just did a film breakdown on my YouTube channel. I broke down Joker's defense. I broke down really the problem is not just Joker. The way they play the pick and roll, nobody really fights through screens properly. There's a lot of stuff that's dysfunctional with the defense.
That's modern
basketball. That you could point to. But I'm just saying, like, that whole situation reeks of Michael Malone should have been gone earlier. It's just hard to fire a guy that's been winning.
That's exactly what.
Yeah, because how would you look to the NBA, the rest of the league, and the rest of the coaches and free agents? Like, what the hell? They just won one. But if you're sure of what you're doing, if you're sure of your direction, you'll do whatever it takes to get to your destination. I just think there was a lot of fear by the ownership group to look stupid, and they ended up actually looking stupider than they could have, in my estimation. They should have let Michael Malone go earlier if the end game was to move on from him anyway. Just my 2 cents.
Nah,
Thanks for taking the call, guys.
no doubt.
Thank you.
Sneed. Thanks for the call.
Absolutely.
That's a good call by Sneed. The other thing I'll say, just in response to the bad defense is not all on Jokic. No, it's not all on Jokic, but I'm really trying to think, how many championship level teams have we seen, or championship teams have we seen where their absolute best player is that apathetic defensively? I'm really trying to like run back to my mind here. It's
not many.
Right. So like, and my thing with Jokic, again, I don't expect him to be Dream or Mutombo or Zoe or anything like that. I get it. Just want him to try. Just want him to try, and he doesn't. But it is what it is.
Dirk Nowitzki, I guess. I think that's a good one. But he wasn't MVP. He never won MVP.
Tried a little bit.
Yeah, he never won
think
MVP.
So, Sneed? I think he is, man.
Yeah.
Well, of course, Hakeem, but no one expects him to be.
Yeah. This is what happens, and I think this is part of why the GM got fired, because now you're a bad defensive team. Period. Mm-hmm. That's what happens. You get rid of KCP and Bruce Brown.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like those two were your your wing defenders.
Green too.
And they can spark from three. So now you not only had offense with them, but you primarily had defense because they knew how to guard your wings, right? And you got rid of them. And like Michael Porter Jr., he's not a defender. He's long, he's lengthy, but he's not necessarily your strapper up on defense. Jamal Murray don't play defense. You know what I mean? Jokic don't play defense. So when you have so many non-defenders on your team and in your rotation, you're not even bringing a defender on the court, of course your defense is going to be bad. You just got rid of your two defenders that you just won the championship with. So, yeah.
Well, there you go.